4 in a row. It's your Maize and Blue Review update for Friday, February the 23rd. And we start with Michigan basketball. The team dropped its 4th game in a row and its 9th out of its last 10 last night, coming out on the wrong side of a 76-62 score at Northwestern. The Wolverines were shorthanded, having to play without Doug McDaniel, Olivier Kamwa, and Will Cheddar. McDaniel suspended, and Cheddar was out with a fever. Meanwhile, back on Wednesday, the program announced that Kamwa will miss the rest of the season with a wrist injury. Here's U of M head coach Juwan Howard on the Go Blue podcast last night after his team's 14-point loss.
Well, what I saw was some really good things that our guys did, in my opinion, a great job of competing. And they competed from start to finish. And you can't ask for anything more. Despite the fact that, we had quite a few guys that you just mentioned that did not play.
Juwan Howard, Michigan returns home to play their next game. It's against number 2 Purdue Sunday at 2 on CBS. The Michigan women's basketball team, they are at Northwestern tomorrow afternoon. When Jim Harbaugh left to coach the LA Chargers, the current players and signees had a 30-day transfer window. Harbaugh left back on Wednesday, January the 24th, so the players have until today. That's when the 30-day portal window in Ann Arbor closes. The spring portal opens from April 15th to April the 30th. Last week, safety Keon Sabb put his name in the transfer portal. U of M with 9 players that have gone that route: Keon Sabb, Reese Atterbury, Matthew Hibner, Amarian Walker, Darius Clemens, Jake Thaw, C.J. Stokes, Cameron Calhoun, and Joey Velasquez. Sabb's going to Alabama. Stokes is heading to Charlotte. Clemens, Oregon State. Walker, Ole Miss. And Velasquez will walk on at Ohio State. National Signing Day was back on the first Wednesday of this month. Like it always is, the Wolverines signed 27 players in the early 2024 signing period, and they stayed at 27 until recently. 24 three-star signee Jaden Smith requested and was granted his release from his national letter of intent, and Smith announced that he is transferring to Kentucky. So U of M's 24 class sits with 26 players and stays at number 13 overall on Rivals.com's team rankings. Michigan has 3 players committed right now to its 2025 recruiting class. 4-star tight end Eli Owens. U of M's other 2 2025 commitments currently are defensive end Bobby Kanka from Howell, Michigan, and quarterback Carter Smith from down in Florida. He was named the 23 Smith was the 23 Gatorade Player of the Year down in the Sunshine State. U of M has added a pair of players so far out of the transfer portal. Linebacker Jayshawn Barham from Maryland. And the other U of M portal addition so far is Northwestern guard Josh Preeb. Both Preeb and Barham have officially been added to the U of M football roster. In other football news, former Michigan linebacker coach Chris Partridge, he lands in the NFL with Mike McDonald in Seattle as an outside linebackers coach. Yesterday, college football players could opt in the new EA Sports College Football 25 video game. Players that did elect to join will get $600 and a copy of the game. Michigan corner Will Johnson tweeting out yesterday that he's in the game. College football 2025 EA Sports due out this summer. And the Michigan football spring game date is set. It's April the 20th, 4/20. U of M will hit the field for the fans to see for the first time since winning the title back on January the 8th. The Wolverines are back at home for a pair of games in hockey against Notre Dame tonight, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, the puck drops at 6:30. Both games against the Irish are on BTN. The Irish have won 7 of the past 8 in Ann Arbor. Michigan coach Brandon Naurato on Inside Michigan Hockey on the keys for this weekend.
We talked a lot about winning the net front, so they play that 1-1-3 in the neutral zone. Similar to Penn State, if you don't lay it behind them and work your forecheck, then that means you're turning it over and they're transitioning back. So we've done it both ways against all these teams, and we do it right, it works. And when we get away from it, that's where we have some trouble. So
Remember, 8 o'clock tonight, 6:30 tomorrow, both games televised on the Big Ten Network. And that's the latest on Michigan. Stay tuned for Good Afternoon Michigan football. Former Michigan offensive lineman Jerry D'Ario on the show at the top of the hour. And for the latest on U of M, go to the MaizeandBlueReview.com or sign up at Michigan.Rivals.com. And we will see you over on the deck.